Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Adam Wolf from Gamers Platform, and today we got another reaction video. I know. I said that this channel was going to be more towards technical things, doing more comparison videos, I guess, between graphics cards and stuff. Still working on getting that RX 580 so I can compare the 1060 with it. You know, it's apparently not very easy to get one of those in a brick and mortar store, so I'm gonna have to order one online. But you know, you could still see these videos as technical because they are. I'm going through the trailer, being all excited, and then just looking back at it and trying to, like, you know, see what I like and what I don't like, or whatever. But anyway, that's besides the point. I promise you there are videos that I have in the works. Just, you know, it's going to take a little bit more time. But for right now, we're going to be taking a look at the newly released Star Citizen Squadron 42 trailer that came out from CitizenCon, excuse me, 2018 this year. And I can't wait. I didn't want that up there, just because Squadron 42 is the only one that the only part of the game that I actually really care about, and it's kind of sad that it's taken this long after all the money it's raised, over $100 million. You know, it'd be nice to see the game come out like they said it was going to, but you know, ambitions are high, and well, I guess Chris Roberts is just a perfectionist, which is fine. That's fine. But don't keep making promises you can't keep. But for right now, we're going to take a look at this. I'm kind of excited because we get to see a little bit of Mark Hamill in his new role. So let's get to it. Now, those of you who frequently have visited my channel know that I'm a huge astronomy buff. Either of my channels, doesn't really matter, live stream or otherwise. I'm a huge astronomy buff, so I'm super excited when I see new space-based games.
I saw you apply to the Flight Academy again.
I'm your new wingman, sir.
The man, the myth, the legend, Mark Hamill.
Local scum use it for cover to launch attacks. This is their turf, so moving on. Keep your eyes open.
The production quality is just unparalleled. It just looks like a movie.
Who the hell are you?
We're OMC. And OMC belongs to Satocom. Is that your boss? Are we supposed to be scared of him or something? Yeah.
The OMC aren't the only ones listening into comms.
It's like a Star Trek come to life in a video game, like a good Star Trek.
All ships, we're under attack by Vandal forces. Repeat, we are under attack.
Apparently, the cast is like AAA cast. You know, obviously you got Mark Hamill, but I believe that's Gary Oldman, and he's big. Fly in my room. Should have killed it.
You has proven yourself time and again. We will not.
There he is.
The system.
Gary Oldman.
We will not fall back.
Form up, Cal. You got a point. Copy that. Tally's on me. Let's say hi.
We will win. Because we have to.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice. That is a gorgeous looking game. If this is actually the quality, I mean, after $100 million raised, it probably should be the quality. But if this is the actual quality of in-game as well as cutscene, this is the next Mass Effect. If this does well enough, which $100 million does kind of say it will, this could be the new Mass Effect if they do it right. You know, if the story is compelling enough and everything. We know very little about what's going to be in this game as far as I can tell. I don't know. Like, I haven't heard, you know, any major names. I guess maybe some of the names of the characters have been released, possibly. But we don't know who the enemy race is. We just saw them. We don't know their name. We don't know where they come from or anything like that. It's a nice teaser trailer. This is actually a really good teaser trailer because it shows you just enough to get you interested and get you hooked. But I'm a huge astronomy buff, and the way this game looks, I mean, the facial animations, the texture quality on the characters' faces alone is phenomenally done. I mean, that's Mark Hamill. You know, obviously, if you look at it long enough, you can tell that's a 3D model. But the bottom line is that that's Mark Hamill done in such detail. Every strand of hair, you know, the wrinkles on his face. I mean, if you know what Mark Hamill looks like, there he is. And that's fantastic. That's unbelievable at how detailed this is. The lighting is fantastic. I love the lighting. It really kind of just like, it's not like overbearing, but it's there. And it's just like, it's telling you, hey, I'm here. But you got the lighting in the background shining off the metal platform here, and it's just the depth of field effect here it's great because it pulls focus to the character, as opposed to, you know, I know a lot of people, they're just not fans of these types of post-processing effects, but I absolutely love depth of field when it's done right. You know, it's meant to pull focus to the subject, the subject that is being portrayed. And in this case, it's Mark Hamill, and so I don't know whether this is bokeh depth of field or if this is some other technique. All I know is that it looks amazing. It really, like, it doesn't protrude on his character outline or anything. His character outline is crisp and clean, whereas the depth of field is, because sometimes when a depth of field is implemented, you will get that effect sometimes where it kind of bleeds over into the character in the foreground, and you don't want that. This doesn't seem to be doing that. I'm looking at it very closely, and I'm not seeing any kind of bleed over. Maybe some softened edges a little bit over here, but other than that, I mean, that has to do with the focus of the camera, and it looks like the focus of the camera is right about here, and so this will fade into the background just a little bit, but it's very well implemented. I like it. This world is massive. I mean, it's not even a world, it's a universe. This universe is going to be huge, ginormous, massive, whatever adjective you want to use to describe how big this game probably is going to be. I mean, Chris Roberts, he's got pedigree, man. Everybody knows who he is and what he's done in the past, and they're expecting a lot from this guy, and rightly so. If you show stuff like this, you know, it just reminds me of how Mass Effect Andromeda probably should have been. I'm not going to lie. Like, I am going to compare this to Mass Effect Andromeda because it's very much set in a similar scene or a similar scenario. Look at the armor. I mean, look at that. Does that not scream Mass Effect to you? Look at this. That looks almost like the armor that you get in Mass Effect Andromeda. I mean, that's what it looks like. Just a different color. You know, obviously the guns are a little bit more realistic, you know, like they're not future weapons. You know, they still probably shoot bullets sometimes. That looks like a bullet type gun. but you saw there were lasers, you know, coming from the ships and stuff like that. The facial animations are probably as close to realistic as you can get. Like, we're talking like Avatar, the movie Avatar, realistic. You know, they probably used some similar technology, but this is really good looking. I mean, again, depth of field, very nice. The voice acting sounds fantastic. I mean, as it should. You've got Mark Hamill and Gary Oldman. There's good old Gary right there. And it gives a very Star Trek vibe to it, you know. And I also like that as well. But you take a look at this suit here. Think about what Captain Anderson was wearing in Mass Effect. That's kind of pretty similar. So it is true that there is no original IP anymore. You have to get your ideas from somewhere. And, you know, Chris Roberts probably saw this opportunity. Ah, man, God, these guys look... I mean, look at the specular highlighting here. These guys clearly are not dry-skinned. and the metallic texture on their armor is fantastic. Take a look at this. The light is shining ever so perfectly. You know, it's not overdone. You know, you got the red light down here casting its light on the bottom portion of his armor, and then some light coming from his chest piece here, but then you've got light probably looks like off in this direction, maybe some coming from here, and it just looks great. But the specular highlight on their skin, that looks great. That really looks good. And I hope there's some motivation for these guys to be attacking the human colony or human race. You could see the texturing on the clothing is pretty nice, pretty top notch. Now, I'm looking at this edge right here. It does... I don't know if this is because of the texture or if it's because of anti-aliasing or lack thereof. That might actually just be the way the texture is laid out, so it looks more like a fabric. But, you know, you can see that if that is a lack of anti-aliasing, it's pretty severe just right here. I mean, there's no jagged edges here. So that I would have to say might actually be part of the texture. You know, I don't know. It looks like pretty high resolution textures that they're using here. So, I mean, it's pretty crazy. It'd be crazy to think that is lack of anti-aliasing after what I've seen. The anti-aliasing method that they used, I mean, from this footage, your guess is as good as mine. I would say maybe a temporal anti-aliasing, possibly. I'm sure if you know, they're going full on PC release here, so and I think PS4 if I'm not mistaken. You know, if they're going to give you options on the PC, they'll probably give you multi-sample anti-aliasing, or some higher form, maybe SMAA, for higher anti-aliasing options. SMAA is not super high, but it's like you've got that, and then you've got temporal anti-aliasing, which I believe is slightly better than SMAA. But I guess SMAA, if I'm not mistaken, there's some nice God ray effects here. It's actually perfectly cast too, because you've got this opening here, and then you've got smoke here, so there's no God rays coming through the smoke, which gives you a sense of volume and density of the smoke here, which is nice. And so it's just like that's nice. I like that. The fire effects are looking pretty solid in the background here. It looks like the particle effects are gonna be... I love particle effects. I absolutely love particle effects when they're done right. They make things look so good. Like, you know, sparks and everything. It looks so good when it's done well. Again, you got... so, you know, I think if he's going to release this anytime soon, which hopefully it would be sometime soon, I like this. I like the fact that you can relive the memories of the dead humans that you come across. You can see what happened to them. That's pretty cool. But if he's going to release this, hopefully within the next year, for the single player anyway, obviously he'd better do it quickly, because this is the moment to capitalize on EA's failure with Mass Effect. I'm not saying BioWare's failure, because they didn't fail. EA did. EA publishes the game. They tell them when they can push it out. And so I'm not going to get into that. Anyway, the detail again, I mean, you could see individual teeth. And I know that's not something to be like in awe about, but, it's a really hard thing to get down, believe it or not. You got some motion blur here. Looks like maybe, I want to say maybe per object motion blur. It could either be that or pixel motion blur, or per pixel motion blur, I should say. They didn't show any gunplay really. They showed a lot of ships flying around. This is nice. I like this. Look at the lighting on the sunset there. That is fantastic. It may not even be a sunset, depending on where that is. Oh, there you go. There's some particle effects for you right there, baby. Look at that. I love a good particle effect system. The colors are so vibrant. I love it. Space doesn't have to be, dark and bleak and gray. It can be colorful. Based on what I'm seeing here, I mean, this, with the cast that they have, with the detail that's in this trailer alone, which more than likely is in-game or in-engine footage. I won't say in-game, because, gameplay and engine, those are two different things, but it looks like it may be in-engine footage. That is some phenomenal work. And this game, keep in mind, has been in development for 7 years. 7. That is unheard of. I was kind of surprised. I mean, I wasn't really surprised, but like when Avalanche Studios released Just Cause 3, it was 5 years after Just Cause 2. So, I like it when developers take their time. I mean, look at the time between Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2. Number 2 is coming out very soon. So, it's taken a long time for Rockstar to get there, and I think rightly so. They want it to be perfect, or at least up to their standards when they release it. I think Chris Roberts might be in that kind of mindset as well, being that he started off with Wing Commander, and he hasn't released anything since. This is his first project in well over a decade, if not more. So, stupid fly, dude. So, I should have killed that thing before I even started. So anyway, so more than likely, Chris Roberts is going for perfection here, and I hope he does, because I want Squadron 42 to be to knock it out of the park. I want it to be the Mass Effect Andromeda that we deserved. I personally don't hate Mass Effect Andromeda. I like the gameplay. I like what I played of it so far. I'm sure the story may or may not disappoint me. That depends. But in terms of, the technical side of Mass Effect Andromeda, it was a total failure. It was a flop. And that's sad, because Mass Effect is one of the best series of games in gaming history, by not just my account, but many, many people. And so for it to fall flat on its face, thanks to EA, I'm not going to stop pushing that. It was EA's fault. This is the time for something like this to come out. So I'm really hoping that Squadron 42 turns out to be the amazing single player that we've all been told about. And, I know expectations are high, but he's kind of putting it out there, man. He's putting it out there. He's showing us this stuff. He's giving people a taste of the multiplayer, and he's kind of just throwing it in our faces saying, hey, this is going to be the best game you've ever played. And I can't wait for the single player. I'm ready for a new story. And this looks like the new story that I've been waiting for. So fingers crossed. Game looks gorgeous, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this reaction video. So thank you for joining me, and please join me again in the next one, where I believe I'll be going over some Fallout 76 footage, possibly. I'm thinking about it. I'm probably going to do it, but it's not official footage. It's footage from another game source, and I wish they would have released official footage. I'll see if there's anything official, but I doubt it. But it's like an hour's worth of gameplay to see on Fallout 76. So I want to go over that and take a look at what kind of improvements they made to the engine. And I'm excited about that. And if you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, share it with your friends, tell them about Gamers Platform, and don't forget to actually go to the website, gamersplatform.net, and check out some playthroughs. I'm doing a lot of playthroughs. Right now I'm working on Spider-Man. So, if you are looking for something to play in the background or something like that, it's a fantastic story, and I can't wait to finish that game and move on to something else. But until next time, guys, I'm Adam Wolf. This is Squadron 42 teaser trailer, and I'll see you guys in the next one.